So after seeing Strange Magic, I needed something to cleanse my mind. And since I'd been hearing mostly positive things about it, I went to the theater the next day and watched Paddington. It's from the same producer of the Harry Potter films, so it should be good. This is based off the book series Paddington, which I vaguely remember being read to in elementary school. I don't think it was quite as popular here as it was in the UK, but I do remember seeing Paddington books in my childhood somewhere. The movie is about a young bear from deepest, darkest Peru, who lives with his aunt and uncle, but due to an accident that's befallen on his uncle, he has to leave Peru. So his aunt sends him off to London, since that's where an explorer came from to take an expedition to Peru to find new creatures, and he found these bears that can talk. And one thing that he said to them is that they would always be welcome in London. So once Paddington reaches London, he's taken in by this family, but the father is very wary about the bear. Like, not the fact that he's a bear and that he can talk, but the fact that he might mess up his house, since he's a risk analyst and he's always careful about what happens and what's going to happen to his kids. And of course, with the bear staying them, a bunch of antics ensue. And it's really fun to watch. Though this movie does have a deeper meaning. It's actually an allegory for immigration, especially for children in the early 1900s during war times, and comparing back then to how people treat immigrants now. And I've seen a lot of reviews saying that this is a subtle allegory, but they actually take the time to explain it to you during the middle of the movie. So I don't think that counts as subtle. Like, of course they don't outright tell you it's an allegory, but they do tell you about the children who came to London. Still, I don't feel it's too in your face, since it does relate to Paddington and how he's found. The movie is actually really enjoyable, but there is one thing that detracts from it. And that's the villain. The villain is a curator at the Natural History Museum and wants to stuff Paddington because he's a rare bear from Peru. That's really the only thing that I feel is pretty weak about this movie, because it doesn't really feel like the villain is needed, especially when we already have the conflict within the household of the family that took him in, since the dad doesn't want him there. But the way they do resolve it does sort of excuse the villain, I guess. Now, there's a lot of English humor in this, and depending on your taste, that's either good or bad, but for me personally, it's good. Also, Paddington himself actually looks really good. He looks realistic enough, but also cute enough. Like, this is almost on the level of Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes good CGI. So that's a big plus. Overall, it's a really excellent family film, and I'd recommend it to anybody. So if you saw the movie, tell me what you thought in the comments, and if you've read any of the Paddington books when you were a kid, tell me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I just wanted to say thank you to all my patrons this month. Your support really helps me out, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want to become a patron, just click that annotation right there. Or if you want to see more movie reviews, click the playlist. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video!